As we prepare to mark 100 years since the Gallipoli landings, a group of young Australians is being given the chance to learn a different side to the Anzac legend. And after experiencing some of the tough terrain firsthand, they've raised concerns that many Australians are not giving Anzac Day the respect that it deserves. Andrew Lunn reports from Gallipoli.
In pouring rain, a Turkish historian giving young Aussies an insight into how his country defended and defeated the Allied invasion.
In 1915, considered as an old gun, very slow, firing, like one shell in every 5 minutes.
A stop too at the country's main memorial to the Gallipoli campaign, next to the busy shipping lanes that show why the Allies were so keen to control the peninsula. The headstones show the terrible cost.
In school we learn a lot about the Anzacs and their stories, but to come here and realise the Turkish side as well and really experience the losses and witness the headstones and the graves of that many soldiers that suffered from the Turkish side is quite a eye-opener as well.
18-year-old Jackson Towns is one of 9 young participants on this year's Mateship trek, a week-long journey organised by MPs Jason Clare and Scott Morrison, exploring some of the stories of the Anzac legend.
You look at the headstones of all the soldiers and it just keeps going forever, and it's just such a sad thing to see.
The weather gives you some idea of the conditions faced by those involved in the Gallipoli campaign. It's cold, wet and the ground is very muddy. Add in a threat of gunfire, shrapnel and disease and you can imagine it would have been hell.
Thankfully, sunny days have allowed the group to retrace the Anzac steps, up steep hillsides and through thick scrub, visiting many of the cemeteries that dot the landscape.
We're standing on 620 unidentified bodies.
Profoundly moving experiences, prompting discussion and reflection on issues including how Anzac Day should be marked.
I just hope that people, especially back home in Australia, gain an understanding that we're not celebrating Anzac Day, we are commemorating, and the distinct difference. Some
worry the meaning is being lost.
It should be a day to commemorate and reflect on what this battle was, not to celebrate. It's nothing to celebrate, it's something to reflect on.
And as the nation prepares to mark the 100th anniversary of the ill-fated Gallipoli landings, there's still plenty of lessons for young Australians to learn.
They're not too different to those men 100 years ago. They just live a much more fortunate life today than those men did here, especially those men who lost their lives.